As the soft strains of the violin filled the elegant hall, Jessica stood at the altar, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nerves. She was about to marry David, a wealthy businessman whose charm had swept her off her feet. The ceremony was a whirlwind of emotions, vows exchanged, rings slipped on fingers, and promises made. Jessica couldn't help but steal glances at the glittering diamond on her finger, a symbol of the life that awaited her. David was everything she had dreamed of, charismatic, successful, and utterly devoted to her. Or so it seemed. Months into the marriage, cracks began to appear in the picture-perfect facade. Jessica discovered David's obsession with money, a love that bordered on madness. He kept meticulous accounts of every penny, every investment, and every asset. At first, Jessica dismissed it as a quirk, but soon it became apparent that David's love for money surpassed his love for her. He grew distant, consumed by deals and profits, leaving Jessica alone in their sprawling mansion. Feeling neglected and trapped, Jessica sought solace in the arms of Mark, a charming and dashing young man she met at a charity event. Mark was everything David was not: attentive, passionate, and free-spirited. Their forbidden affair blossomed in secret, hidden from the prying eyes of society. Jessica found herself falling deeply in love with Mark, a love that burned brighter with each stolen moment. As days turned into weeks, Jessica and Mark hatched a dangerous plan. They would rid themselves of David, freeing Jessica from her suffocating marriage and securing a future together. Late one stormy evening, as lightning split the sky, Jessica lured David to the deserted beach house they owned. The waves crashed against the shore, a sinister backdrop to the unfolding tragedy. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, Jessica poisoned David's wine, watching as he took the fatal sip. Guilt and fear washed over her as she realized the enormity of what they had done. They made it look like an accident, staging the scene to fool even the most discerning eye. David's death was mourned as a tragic loss, the grieving widow at the center of sympathy and pity. With David out of the way, Jessica and Mark planned their escape. They packed their bags, leaving behind the mansion with its haunting memories. For a brief moment, they tasted freedom, driving into the day with the wind in their hair and the promise of a new life ahead. But fate is a cruel mistress, and their happiness was short-lived. A nosy neighbor had a suspicious glance, and soon the police were hot on their trail. Caught in a web of lies and deceit, Jessica and Mark found themselves cornered. The truth unraveled like a sinister tapestry, revealing their dark secret to the world. In a dramatic showdown on a deserted highway, the police closed in, sirens wailing in the night. Mark, desperate and afraid, made a run for it, leaving Jessica alone to face the consequences. Tears streamed down Jessica's face as she was led away in handcuffs, her dreams of love and freedom shattered. In the cold confines of her prison cell, Jessica realized the true cost of her actions. Regret consumed her, a heavy burden she would carry for the rest of her days. David survived the poison that had threatened to steal his life, now a distant memory. Yet, despite his physical recovery, a lingering fear had taken root within him, casting a shadow over his once bright spirit. The thought of love, of marriage, now filled him with a deep-seated apprehension. The betrayal he had endured had left scars that ran far deeper than any physical wound. The trust he had so freely given had been shattered, and the idea of opening his heart again seemed an insurmountable task. Mark was found in the bustling heart of the city, a place normally filled with the symphony of life, the chatter of pedestrians, the hum of traffic, and the scent of street food wafting through the air. But on this day, a different drama unfolded. The police, acting on a tip-off, had been on the lookout for Mark, a man whose name had been whispered in connection to a string of recent burglaries. As they closed in on the coordinates of their informant, they found him standing near a street corner, his demeanor tense as he scanned the passing crowds. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Time seemed to stretch endlessly within the confines of his cell. The routine of prison life became his new reality, a monotonous existence marked by the clang of bars, the echoes of distant voices, and the ever-present weight of his mistakes. As for David, he threw himself into his work with a fervor bordering on obsession. His business, once a mere venture, now flourished under his tireless dedication. He poured himself into every project, every meeting, finding solace in the familiar rhythm of success. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and still, the fear lingered like a ghost at the edge of his consciousness. Friends and family urged him to move on, to seek happiness once more, but David remained resolute in his reluctance. It was during a particularly pivotal meeting that David found himself face to face with a decision that would change the course of his life. The opportunity for expansion, for growth beyond his wildest dreams, lay before him like a tantalizing promise. But with this opportunity came a risk, a leap of faith that would require him to confront the demons that haunted his heart. For the first time since that fateful betrayal, David felt the stirrings of hope within him. With a deep breath, he made his choice. He would not let fear dictate his future any longer. With a newfound determination, he threw himself into the venture, his passion reignited by the challenge before him. As the months passed, David found himself once again embracing life with a fervor he thought long lost. The scars of the past remained, but they no longer held him captive. He had faced his fears head-on, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever before. The days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, and still, Jessica remained confined within the cold embrace of the prison walls. The outside world continued to spin, oblivious to her plight, while she fought a silent battle against the suffocating grip of her circumstances. David's life took an unexpected turn, one that seemed to carry the promise of a new beginning. As he navigated the winding paths of his journey, he found himself on a road paved with success and renewed hope. In the arms of his new partner, a woman whose beauty radiated from within, David discovered a sense of completeness he had long yearned for. Her caring nature, a balm to his soul, healed the wounds of the past and opened his heart to the joys of love reborn. His children, a reflection of the love shared between him and his new wife, brought light and laughter into their home. Each day was a new adventure, a chance to witness the wonder of life through the eyes of the ones he held most dear. As he watched his family grow, David felt a sense of gratitude wash over him. Gratitude for the second chance at love, for the blessings of a beautiful wife who stood by his side through thick and thin, and for the gift of children who filled his days with endless joy.